Right, good morning. It's day 3 of Autism Awareness Week. As you can see, I'm still in the kitchen. So far this week we have discussed getting a diagnosis. We would go to my process, why I went for diagnosis. And then yesterday was, so you've got your diagnosis, now what? So the next stage for me was once I got over the frustration of, and not shock, I would say, but once I got over, that diagnosis and sort of come to terms with it, because it's not that simple. It was disclosure, and to disclose or not to disclose, that is the question. Do you disclose to family, friends, work colleagues, your social circle, a wider audience, Facebook, YouTube? Do you do that? And for me, I thought this has took me a while. This has took me 2 months to sort of pluck up the courage to do this. So for me, it wasn't an easy choice, but in terms of disclosure, and the way that my skills and my strengths are, I wanted to advocate that autism, ASD, whatever you call it, neurodiversity should be celebrated, which is what a lot of other autistics are saying the same. And that we should celebrate the way that we think as a positive rather than a negative. In different parts of the world, autism is seen differently. In America, it's seen as a disease, and that's not a good thing. A disease needs to be eradicated, and does autism need to be eradicated? Would you look at 700 million people worldwide with autism and say, oh, they need to be eradicated? Well, no. If we were to look at the many autistics across the centuries, we would probably say without them, we wouldn't have the way that they see things. We wouldn't have what we have today if it wasn't for autistics. So for me to disclose was a kind of a no-brainer. I wanted people to understand. And it was surprising, the answers I got back were things like, you're not autistic? Yes, I kind of felt like saying no, and neither are you. But and you're no expert. And then other people were sort of, yeah, you've always been special, which again I think is a bit of a taking the mickey a little. But some people said, yeah, I always knew, it's for them, the little quirks, the little awkwardness that you've got kind of just stands out a mile. And so it was no surprise to some people. You work in an environment, because you come with equal opportunities, they recognise this as a disability. And they have to make reasonable adjustments. So your working environment will sort of, or should, try and bend over backwards to accommodate you and make reasonable adjustments. I also went to the job centre to discuss, what options I have in terms of working if I can't do my job. Because there are certain issues with autism that do affect you on a daily basis, and that does affect the way you work. So to disclose, depending on what your job is probably in your best interests. Certainly mine, because I drive a lot, and I'm working with vulnerable adults, so I am now classed as a vulnerable adult, even though I already am. I need to disclose that. And in terms of family and friends, again, it's just a way of them accepting me and what I am about. So yeah, again, the disclosure thing was sort of a bit of a no-brainer. So I'm going to end that one today, because like I said, I want to keep these short but sweet. So we've discussed disclosure, why you would disclose, why I disclosed, and I hope that gives you a better understanding. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with another one. So yeah, bye for now.